Progress.
Why is this not showing up? Oh, that's why.
Yep, so we got 600,000.
There we go.
Part of their.
Hey, there's Eileen. Good morning, Eileen. Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Good
Can you
morning.
hear me, Eileen?
That was good.
Yes.
Is that her?
Yeah, but it's coming out of the projector.
The city's supposed to turn in requisition of spend.
Yes, so I gave him $175 to Chris, I'm sure he'll take my money.
Yeah. We're about 700,000, 750 shy right now. There's another.
Yeah.
I know Jim had one for a while.
Contributes to the Rotary.
Kind of bits and pieces that kind of got-
Eileen, can you keep talking, please?
I don't know.
Yes. How's your morning? It's good to see everybody.
Doing pretty good.
Can you hear me?
We're trying to fix our microphone.
Every morning I open up and it's still.
You're coming out of the projector in the middle of the room.
I beg your pardon?
I show it.
Well, we might just have to.
Don't worry.
Ask them to see.
You don't have to solve any problems here.
I've got a gym voice I can use. Hey
Hey,
Eileen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can all hear you.
Yeah, okay. Like, man, we don't even have that low, we got our own.
Yeah, we have our own app.
I'm working for a hospital
No.
and technically, actually, and actually technically today I'm.
Why don't we just put it right here? And then they could see. They don't need to see me.
So actually, this is something new. I'm not consulting anymore. I just got a new job.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, they gotta be able to see you. Sorry.
So do you go there then weekly or all remotely? You got it in a good time.
I was just gonna say hi.
Yeah.
I did. I said hello. Can you, Scott, can you hear me?
What was the thing you bought like?
Eileen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly clear.
I can't hear Eileen.
Here we go. How many times it's. Oh, very good. Very good. Yes.
Okay, so we just won't have audio.
Well, if they say something, they'll have to just be really loud.
Okay, Eileen?
Yeah,
Did you hear her? Can you say, can you talk louder?
like this?
No, it is coming through. Just, how do you hear it?
We're trying to figure out how to turn you up.
Volume button.
Okay, try, can you say now, Eileen?
Now? Sorry.
Try again.
Now?
Okay, hello. Eileen?
Yeah?
Anybody?
Now there's nothing. Okay, say something, Eileen.
Hello, good morning.
What she's had for breakfast.
She really is muted.
Now she's really muted.
Okay, try now.
Okay, try now, Eileen, please.
Okay, test,
Morning, all.
test, test,
Try now.
Try now, please.
test, test,
Eileen.
test.
It's, I think so, just push a button.
No.
Nope, next button.
We're professionals. This is Rotary Problem Solving 101.
All right, try now.
Okay, Eileen, please say something
Okay,
now.
test, test,
Can you hear me?
test.
That's as good as gonna be. We'll just have to listen really carefully.
I can hear and see you.
Okay. But are you, okay, now try, Eileen, please.
Test, test,
That's loud.
test.
It's better. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fine. You're
Okay,
perfect.
awesome. Okay, because the Zoomers are coming through the projector in the middle of the room. And so it's a little hard to hear. So we'll have to do, good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
To do some stuff.
So have
Good
them
morning.
raise their hand or something in Zoom so that we know that they're trying to talk, so we know to listen.
Okay, guys, so because we're having an issue hearing you this morning, if you want to talk, please raise your hand rather than putting your hand raised in the chat. So then we'll all see our Zoomers that you guys have something to say. If that works, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Keith Partington, we found a new club services person. Happy Friday. Okay, where's all the people? Okay, Dean, we're going. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant of Arms. Would you like to lead us in our,
Here to the right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test is the truth. Okay, wait, is it first? Is it the first? Is it the truth? Second. Is it fair to all concerned? Third. Fourth. Will be beneficial to all concerned. Fifth.
Bacon.
Fifth and sixth, making fun. That's how they.
that was awesome, you guys.
Thank you for holding it up.
Okay, Eileen, let's try our Friday inspirational.
Okay.
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay. Yay. All right, here we go. Negativity is contagious. Unhappiness is contagious. Fear is contagious, but so is happiness. So is optimism. So is love. Surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you and strive to be a reflection of what you want to receive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a good one. Okay, do we have any guests here today? No guests, and no visitors. We don't have any birthdays this week. I don't have the November information, so we'll have to hit everyone with your birthday, Rotary anniversary, wedding anniversaries, spouse birthdays next week. Announcements. Hey, I want to remind everyone we have our Strive Walk tomorrow. We do have a team. Eileen registered us. We're ready to go. It's a 5K. It's starting downtown Everett tomorrow morning at 10. And if you could make it, that'd be amazing. Currently, we have a team of 1. If we had a team of 2, would be amazing. Wear your Rotary gear and any pink that you want to add on. If you have any questions, you can contact Eileen with her thumbs up. It's a fabulous event. It's really inspiring. And then also our holiday party. If you weren't in the meeting last Friday, we've switched the date. We've done some switcheroo, and it's going to be December 10th at Meathead, starting at 5:30. We're going to do a buffet. There'll be it'll be a buffet, brisket, pulled pork, sides, 2 drinks, and then we're meeting with them to decide on the price. It'll be probably $35, $40 a person for our holiday party. I want to remind you guys, I think we should put a group together to go up to this district celebration. It is May 13 to 15. We can go for 1 day. We can go for 3 days. It's the foundation dinner Friday night, which is always a really fabulous event. They have a great speaker. And then the weekend, there's speakers and breakout sessions. They're doing a gala Saturday night, but they're not allowing dancing. So they're doing dueling pianos, which I think would be super fun. And then, so it's all Rotary all the time, all weekend. And if anyone's interested, let's put a group together. And then, of course, I remind you, we do have the Rotary International Convention coming up in June, which I don't think we've sent a group to that in quite a while. And that would be a fun event also. Okay, so moving on. Past President Ken Collins, do you have a report? Do not. Lori Westover, our treasurer, esteemed treasurer, do you have a report?
Sure. So, during our auction.
Okay, hold one sec. Can you guys hear Lori? You want to come up here, please? With your Seahawks gear.
We'll come back to you.
Well, it helps
Here comes
our
Lori.
necks, too.
Can you see me? Can you hear me yet?
No.
No, okay.
No, that's not the microphone, it's the
Yeah,
computer.
no, it's okay.
No, we want the,
It's
All
okay.
right, that's fine.
Yeah,
There
now
she
you're gonna mess up his setup.
That's all right. She
Okay,
just doesn't
so
wanna
I'm
be-
sorry.
I don't want to be on camera, so anybody else that wants to be on camera, I'm all over it.
So, during our auction, we had Fund a Cause, which was for the Sherwood for iPads for kids for communication purposes. We raised $2,950, and those iPads are $1,000 each. So we had a couple members kick in a little bit more money, and so we ended up with $3,000. So 3 children are going to be able to communicate with their families, with each other. So nice job, Rotary. Good job.
Yeah, that's a good one. Awesome. Okay, Mr. Gary.
All right. Do I need to come up there?
Yep,
If I have to, you have to.
yep. Today we're all coming up if you have a report.
All right, the next board meeting is on November the 11th. And a note, Dean France is going to be having heart surgery on November the 8th. Debbie has been in contact with Eileen. This could change because although Dean is working from home, he is getting much more tired each day. And so he could end up going into surgery earlier, but right now it's scheduled for November the 8th. So if you have time, send them a card, send them a link on the computer, and just let him know that we're thinking of him. The other thing is, this last week I talked about district awards. We're going to apply for the Innovative Club Award, and that is due on November the 30th, not October 30th. I get an email last night says, the awards are due on the 30th. No, they're due on November 30th. So
Hey,
we
that
will
came
be-
from the top. I went to a president's meeting last night, and at that meeting, I was told that all the award applications were due by the end of the month, and I went, oh shit, that's like Monday or
Yeah.
Sunday. Gary,
We do, and we may want to think about a Rookie of the Year award too. I mean, we may have a candidate that we may want to fill out the information and send in.
yeah.
We got some good candidates that might be good for that.
Mhm.
One of them might be sitting right
This is a
around
very
here.
good idea. Actually, our club is rocking it.
Yep.
From when I go to these meetings, talking to other presidents in our area, we are rocking it because we are growing our membership. We're still raising money successfully. We're raising a lot of money successfully. I just have to sit and be quiet and listen to what they're doing because I feel kind of bad.
No, you don't.
I love it, but we don't want to brag and make them feel bad, but we're really rocking it, you guys. And it started, when Ken took us from live onto Zoom and through Corona or COVID, and a lot of people didn't have that initiative. Their clubs kind of shut down, or they're only doing Zoom still, and people are tired. But you guys, you're rocking it. It's really awesome. Okay, next one, Chris Vallow, President-elect. Thank you for
Yes, I
coming.
don't really have anything too new, but I did send out a action item list from the Corks and Kegs, and it's pretty much just kind of like an item list of things we want to think about and if we have any thoughts on ideas and things like that for next year. So it's just kind of template. We all did really great. It was a lot of fun, and we're gonna have more fun next year. So. Yeah.
Increase, I don't know if we can handle more
Thank
fun.
you, Don.
Yes,
So that's all I have.
it's gonna be a Hollywood production next year.
Exactly. So it'll be fun.
And no live rounds, please.
We'll give it a shot.
It's actually
We can do
blanks, but we'll get it in there.
That's my dad joke for the
Go
day.
on, Alex, be careful.
Okay, committee reports, club services, Don Iverson.
That's me.
That's you,
Well,
club services. Look at,
Can
he's
anybody
so
tell-
happy.
Can anybody tell me what I'm supposed to do?
Okay, so are the lights on? Do we have coffee?
Yeah.
We're good.
You're good.
Thank you.
We do have to say, Gary, when you were in Hawaii, we showed up and the room was dark. We're like, what do we do? Where's Gary? Well, how come the lights aren't on? Where's Gary? Okay, Foundation Jim Hagan, not here. Is he on the Zoomer? Nope. International Services, Tracy, are you on Zoom today?
No.
Nope. Ron Ramson, membership.
We got nothing to report.
You're fired. Vocational Services, Lance Morehouse. I know you're on. There you are. Nice shirt.
Thanks. I like it. Thanks for the garb. Just a couple announcements. I've been in communication with Kim LaForge, and they used to do a Beyond High School night where entities that offered scholarships could come in and talk to the students about their scholarships. And of course, in the current environment, that's not happening, but she's making an opportunity for individual clubs to have a meeting with students in, I can't remember what the room is at the high school that she's in, but we might be able to Zoom in and talk about our scholarships. And then this last week, I had to fill out NCAA paperwork for one of our scholarship recipients just to explain where the scholarship came from and provide Rotary's mailing address. So all good on this front.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Tuesday Club, Rotarians in action.
Yeah, we had our first, we had our first event last week, as we talked about. We have our next meeting on Tuesday. So if you guys know anyone that wants to join, please have them come over. We're gonna be at Brian Brewer's office, across the farmer's office at 5:30. And we're gonna work on trying to find some other opportunities to work on the community. And if you guys have any ideas, things that you know needs to be worked on, or things that we could at least get our presence out, let us know and take a look at it.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Public relations, Eileen. Good morning.
Good morning. Just send me your ideas if you want to see. I've been kind of doing some rogue stuff. I don't know what you guys think, just like
It's
Rotary
amazing.
facts. And
Love
then
the
yesterday.
first responders post yesterday.
Okay, cool. So if you see something that you don't like, please let me know, because I certainly don't want to offend anybody. But I've just kind of been trying to be a little more creative. So if you have ideas, please send them my way.
Awesome. Thank you. And then are you going to be putting a swag order together? Another
No,
follow-up?
I haven't had time. I'm sorry. Things have been really busy. So I sent it to Kyle. I think Kyle said that he was interested in doing that. So I did send him the order form.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we'll figure that out. Where's Mr. Martin?
He is in Hawaii.
Oh, he is in Hawaii. He's at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Not that he's overpaid or anything.
Nope, not that he's overpaid. No.
He's at the Four Seasons.
Just so you guys know, he just got accepted in house that he's trying to buy too. So
That's awesome.
it's pretty crazy if you buy a house that you're going to pay at the same time, but
You can be done.
you can do it. So.
It can be done.
This is Chris.
Yeah.
One of them walk into this.
Yeah.
A house and the Four Seasons. Okay, let's see here. Do you have anything on scouting, Chris?
Nothing new.
Nothing new? Awesome. Okay, so then we're moving on to Sergeant of Arms. And today filling in for Kevin O'Brien is Chris Vallow.
Excellent. Okay, so we have the, we're gonna pull a duck out of here, right? And then
I'll take it first.
So who's gonna pull the duck ticket out? How about Don?
Don looks lucky.
Oh, boy. The lucky ticket. And you're ready for it is. I can put my glasses on. Gotta get this one right. It is 809.
Kyle.
Okay, awesome.
All right, now this,
Yeah, okay.
and I've got a five, so you get one.
Oh, you get one, yeah, there's 5 ones in there. You know, you get to take a duck out.
Aw, $5 is something.
That's that. Awesome, thanks for participating. So now we have the bucket list. So one thing I have to say is, now Eileen spent a lot of time ordering shirts and everything, and I'm kind of at fault myself. Here's an example, a good example. Our leader has a nice Rotarian shirt on that Eileen spent time doing. So who has a shirt on? It says Rotary. Okay, good, good, excellent. And those that
I see
haven't?
some on the Zoomers.
Yeah, and the Zoomers, awesome. Lance, good, yeah.
Look at
So-
Larry Stink looks a little prickly today.
Where's Larry Saint? There he is. He's standing tall. He's standing tall, though.
Standing tall and prickly.
So if you don't have a Rotary shirt on, then we'll take $1. All right.
Unless you want to buy a hat.
Keith and I both have Cougar stuff on.
Well, we're not there yet.
You can save $1 by spending 20 and picking up a hat at the desk.
Dollars down here.
I have a hat, but it's out in the car.
Oh, that's quite, that's nice.
Run and get it.
That doesn't count.
Oh, okay, you guys are good. You got a shirt on, okay.
That counts.
Over here, okay. Good, you can, good, excellent, good, looks good.
It's like paper
Better
dolls.
late than never.
That's awesome.
Okay, I gotta put $1 in my
What about our Zoomers?
Well, Zoomers, we have Lance. How about you guys? Are you guys gonna do some Venmo there, $1 for no shirt? Okay, I get the.
Is it suspicious that they went dark?
Excellent. Okay, so badges. Who does not have a badge?
Stinking badges.
Thinking badges.
I
Okay.
have a badge, but I-
Oh, yeah, okay, good. That's good. That's perfect. Good, good, good. Any badges over here? Badge of honor. Badge of honor. Good, good. Badges, badges.
That's pretty much an automatic Zoom find.
Thompson.
Badges, badge, good. Hey, this is great. Badge, what else do I got on here? Something about what the? Okay. Any Seahawks gear? It is Blue Friday, and they're doing almost exceptionally not so well. Any Seahawks gear?
Gary's got a Seahawks watch
The Blues
now.
Now taking on a new meeting, it's how you feel about this.
Yeah, right, yeah. How do you feel about that?
Hey, Ken, they may be looking for a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nick Rolovich is available.
Right,
They have to be vaccinated.
okay.
No, I was thinking, I've got my Seahawks stuff and I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I went totally Cougar.
All right, I'll take his dollar.
Okay.
Venmo.
Awesome, thank you very much. Oh, wow. Check that black guy. Got the colors of the Seahawks on there. I'd be embarrassed to wear it, but okay.
Better than paying $1 fine.
That's why nobody wears Seahawks gear.
Yeah. well,
I don't see any Seahawks on our Zoomers either.
Okay, Zoomers.
There's no Hawk fans out
Any
there.
Hawk fans out there? Okay, well, that's a buck for
Oh.
everybody.
Jack,
Jack, awesome.
Jack's
Nice,
on par.
good. Great, okay, good. Let's see, do I have anything else on here? I guess
Larry's
that's-
wearing green.
Larry, yeah, he's standing tall again. He's got.
I'm here, but I can't get my camera to work.
Eyeballs on it.
Yeah, so, okay, I guess anybody got some happy bucks? Anybody happy today? Okay.
I'm happy, happy that it's Friday, and I got more. More, yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
And I'm happy that my son, came home this weekend from WSU, it's a little harbor to the west. And, I'm happy that my middle son is on a NOAA ship out in the Atlantic Ocean right now. And, but they had to hunker down yesterday to anchor off Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Oh,
because
yeah.
The winds were like 90 miles an hour. I was a little scared for them, but they made it through it okay.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Must feel just like home, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Found myself, so it's like they, and they, pickleball is one for us, I think we're gonna keep winning, even without our coach, but we're very resilient, they're gonna do it, and then the other one just for being here.
Well, I'll speak. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy because I'm not the other guy. Big family birthday party last night with lots of little grandkids running around, and this happened to the other grandpa. The girls were gathered around behind him, you know, kind of hanging off the belt and all that kind of stuff. And a 3-year-old went up and bit him on the below the belt in a really bad spot. I've never seen that happen before. Just arbitrarily went up and bit him right through the gym. Wow. And almost put him on the floor. Of course, all the kids don't know. They're all laughing. So that's worth 5 happy bucks. Not
That you weren't that grandpa.
yeah.
Whoa.
Poor Grandpa Vince.
Grandma.
I think the Zoomers heard that one.
How about the Zoomers? Anybody happy up there? 5. Okay, good.
I already sent in my $10 by Venmo. I'm happy to wear my new Rotary garb and find myself $5 for missing last week.
Awesome. Okay, anybody else up there? Okay.
I'd like to do $5 happy bucks. Thank you all for your support and supporting Sherwood and allowing us to be able to provide technology for 3 more clients. We appreciate that support so much. And I am happy that it is Friday. This week has been a week of weeks. So yay for Friday and yay for strides. And yeah.
Excellent. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else up there?
I think
happy?
John's got one.
John?
Yeah, I'd like to just drop $20 in because this has been a great week for me. And I'm really happy that the remodel on my kitchen is going to start next week. And if you didn't notice, my voice is echoing around an empty kitchen.
Nice. Oh, that'll be cool. How
Yeah.
long do you expect that to take?
They tell me it'll take about 30 days, but I expect it to be something more like 60 to 90 days.
Ah, that's super.
By the
John
way,
is so
yeah, the appliances are, well, they might come in 6 months, but don't count on them for 10 months. I think my refrigerator's floating around out in the Pacific Ocean. somewhere.
Next to that ship that burned up. Awesome. Anybody else up there?
We can go get them off the ships.
Yeah. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move.
No one
down here.
else? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll send in $25 for the month. And I'm happy it's going to heat up to 90 today. I might go outside and sit in the sun for a while.
Wow.
You're
okay.
already outside.
I saw you. We're moving.
You look suspiciously like a cactus, Larry.
That's his Halloween costume.
Wave your arm.
Yeah,
Larry.
wave your arms, Larry.
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
All right, I will throw in some happy dollars. One for a great trip and a great vacation. Spent some time over in Ireland and London over the last couple of weeks. And then a few more happy dollars because I got to come back to a new job. So I'm not going to be consulting anymore. I'm going back to work for a hospital. Still working from home because the hospital's in Idaho, but it's an awesome opportunity and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, cool.
So does that mean you'll be at meetings now on Fridays, I guess? Because you don't have that meeting?
I still need to see exactly how that's going to play out. Because it doesn't start until Monday. I'm technically unemployed today.
We'll write you a note.
Okay. Yeah, but more than likely.
Awesome. Good, good.
Is it a permanent job?
It is permanent. I am no longer contracting. I am employed by the hospital.
Oh, cool.
Okay, $5. Some of you may or may not know, but we had a pretty nice gift given to us by city council on Tuesday for the food bank of $2.5 million. So that's 1.1 million that we've raised in the past month for the county and the city. So that's pretty awesome. Appreciate all the help there, and happy this is the last Friday before this damn election is over.
Yeah.
So my
I'm with ya.
Facebook can just go to normal because it's on overdrive right now.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to Venmo, but, I'm happy that we have a whole house generator because we seem to lose, power on a pretty regular basis, so, it was worth the investment. I have the lights on and the water working. Well, not just hot water, any water.
The well.
You flush the toilet.
Just happy it's Friday and a fine that I have to leave because I have to return. So sorry. Yeah. Like,
Have a good weekend, Ron.
thanks, you too.
I'm happy it's Friday and I still have $1. We're happy too. Okay.
I'm gonna make an announcement.
Yeah.
Tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock at the Lake Stevens Senior Center, if you want to get a booster shot, all free are available. And so from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you can make an appointment by calling them, or you can show up and they'll try and work you in. Bev and I are scheduled from 11:30 to 11:45, so.
And is that open to everyone, or are
It's
they certain
open.
classifications that
It's
can go
open.
get it? Is there a time period from when you got your second shot to when you get the booster?
I think it's 6 months.
Awesome.
Is it, what's the brand?
It is
All three.
all free. You don't listen to my lips.
And it's free?
It's more important.
Okay, free, my favorite price.
Yeah, it's free.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's being administered by Snohomish County Health.
Awesome. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome, thank you.
Vendors, and thank you people on the Zoom.
Yes, thank you,
See you.
Zoomers. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our speaker because we're almost right on time. I don't know what that clock is, never, whatever. So do you want to introduce our speaker, Don?
Sure. My name is Don.
It's Don. There's my introduction.
That's a good introduction.
And we're taking one time to write it.
All right. So one of the reasons I did this is I wanted to find out what it's really like to do this, since I'm always wiring everybody up. So first of all, let's see if I can even find the production on this. God, I hope that doesn't fall off. It's not going to work out so well. So, exit full screen and do this. Oh, good, there it is. Now go back to Zoom. And
That's a John's grill operation.
yeah. Let's try that. Let's try that. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that is going, or this is going to be about Don's grow operation. And I will,
Grow operation?
I will, yeah,
He received choice of college for the,
yeah, for sure. If I could put some little leaves around it on the side, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, first of all, does anybody not know what aquaponics is? Okay, good. I was hoping that because that means I can explain it. So aquaponics is basically nothing more than a recirculating water system that goes from two places. One is a fish tank and the other is a garden. And it is very similar to a hydroponic system, except instead of putting chemical fertilizer, if you will, into the lower tank, which is what feeds the plants on the upper tank, you basically just throw fish in there and you feed them. And it's kind of, it's a very interesting symbiotic relationship that they just happen to like love each other from the standpoint of what they put into the water. And it's kind of one of these no-brainer things, because the waste from the fish makes perfect food for the plants. And the plants make sparkling clean water for the fish. So it's like they couldn't possibly survive without each other in this situation. So to get your food, you basically just have to feed fish. And fish food is actually relatively inexpensive compared to the manufactured food you need for a hydroponic system. And in this particular picture, the garden is a media bed, which has like a gravel substance in it, not dirt, gravel, which works well for growing larger plants that can live year-round. And believe it or not, things like tomatoes can live year-round, and peppers. They're actually big enough plants that if they get what they need, they'll just keep going. So that's kind of a cool thing about that kind of a media bed. So why my interest in aquaponics? I like gardening and I like fishing, but they kind of take a lot of time. It's not necessarily work, it's kind of fun, but to actually get something out of it, you gotta put quite a bit of time into it. So if you don't have as much time, you get help, but it is getting really hard to find somebody that agrees with you how fun gardening is. So that's getting to be a little bit of a challenge these days. When you become a grandpa, you know, you kind of need to always be learning something new. It kind of keeps your brain working. So you sometimes have to go look for stuff to do. And sometimes Eve thinks I got too much time because I do all this kind of stuff, but that's just what I do. And in this particular one, it just kind of seemed to fit with Rotary because the concept is potentially beneficial to all. And yeah, fun, darn. So bottom line is, okay, if it is beneficial to all, why is it beneficial? The number one reason is it's incredibly productive from a space standpoint or acreage standpoint, if you will. And if you can grow what you need in much less space, it's going to help us with the lack of a need for deforestation. You know, when you start getting into more tropical areas where there is no open ground, they have to cut trees down in order to plant plants. So obviously that's a huge potential advantage. Year-round crop production, when you start getting into the northern climates, you have an opportunity to actually produce year-round. And the top two, you know, are actually combined to be a real advantage for around here, or maybe a little bit more so in the southern part of the country, where just by combining, because of those two, you can grow in a greenhouse and you can grow year-round. Where obviously you got economic advantages with that. So another huge one for the world in general is the substantial reduction in water consumption. The irrigation of farm fields, you lose a lot of water just getting the water to the field, ditches and canals and that type of thing. Getting the water onto the actual soil around the plants, you lose a lot to evaporation. And then once it finally gets on the soil, most of it just soaks down into the ground and very little is actually absorbed by the roots to eventually be evaporated by the leaves. So when you get rid of all those inefficiencies, you really don't need a lot of water. So I listen to the news about how terrible it is for, the water scarcity in the Southwest and all that. It makes me feel good to know that it's really just all on paper. We don't need to use near as much water for farming as we do because we have alternatives. But we don't need to do that now, so we don't. But that opportunity is certainly there. Resilience to climate events are obvious. Droughts aren't so much of a problem if you really don't need much water. No fertilizers and little or no pesticides, definitely an advantage. As we know, fertilizers are made mostly with petroleum products. Pesticides, who knows what they make those out of, but neither one of them are necessarily good for us. Elimination of the cost and energy associated with transporting food from areas where it will grow to where it can be consumed is a big deal. Greenhouse gas emissions are very significant from that. The other interesting thought is the immediate consumption of the harvest is going to make your vegetables and fruits literally twice as nutritious. The loss of nutrition within your produce is significant in the first week after harvest. I've heard it said that a lot of times you lose half of the nutrient value of it. So if you can just walk outside, trim a head of lettuce, walk back in and make a salad, you get twice the value out of the salad. You knew that, didn't you, Lori?
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, it might taste the same, but apparently the nutrition is just not there. Another thing is fish food can be produced on site. There's lots of recipes for it. And what's also kind of cool is you can use the leftovers or the kitchen scraps, so to speak, from what you produced on your aquaponics farm. Those fish heads and the tails and the guts, they can be cooked and ground up. The trimming from all your vegetables, fish love vegetables. And what you can't get just from your own waste, you can grow duckweed in a little kiddie pool. Even here, it grows incredibly fast. Fish love duckweed. And it's like already fish food. It's just these little things that grow in the water. So you grow your own food on site so you can get to the point where you really are self-sufficient. Eve brought this one up and it makes sense to me. If all of this stuff works, good food becomes very inexpensive, and it becomes a reason why people will consume less bad food, less processed, unnutritious food, because they can afford better, because it just is easy to make better. And then the other interesting thing that I never knew is fish production is incredibly efficient compared to the alternatives. You can get 1 pound of fish with just 1.5 pounds of fish food. And the other forms of meat can be literally like 5 times more food required to get a pound of meat. And you ask, well, why? Why is that the case? And the answer is actually very simple. Fish don't have to use much energy to move. They glide so easily to go wherever it is they need to go. They don't have to spend energy to support themselves. So literally, when they eat a piece of food, there's no overhead in their system. It just goes into body mass. So it's an extremely efficient way to get protein into our diets. So the Rotary clubs are starting to take notice of this, and I just did a quick Google search, and these are just some of the recent projects that other clubs around the country have taken part in. Most of them are international, but this particular one was local from a standpoint of it was done in their local district. Here's an international one that was completed just this April in Cambodia. Here's one that was just completed or just reported on in October this month from Florida. And this started with an international project in the Dominican Republic. And then it apparently was successful enough that it became a local project at a Boys and Girls Club. So other clubs are starting to take this stuff pretty seriously. So how does it work? This is a typical small system. And the photo on the left actually does a pretty good job of mimicking the actual diagram on the right. They just found these two randomly and just put them together. But the process starts in this recirculating water system with your fish. And you feed the fish and they eat it and then they produce waste. That waste will build up ammonia within the tank if you don't do something. So you take the waste and you move it into the grow bed or the media bed. And in that media bed, the first thing that happens is a certain bacteria turns the waste into nitrites, which are not good things. Then another kind of a bacteria will turn the nitrites into nitrates, which is plant food. So you gotta make sure you got both of those bacteria working really well in your system. You also throw a few worms in there, believe it or not, because worms are very good at consuming the fish waste initially, and then what they produce as waste is really, really good bacteria. So you actually would normally throw some red worms into this system to make it work better. The media is not dirt. And if you look in the picture on the left, you will see that they're more like pellets or even pea gravel, but they're actually like little beads. And the reason for that is they are excellent environments for bacteria. And if you cycle the system and allow the media to drain about once an hour, or more. So it actually, the liquid level in the media bed goes up and comes down regularly. Every time it goes down, it draws oxygen all the way down into the media tank. And that oxygen allows the bacteria to thrive even more. And so you basically supercharge the whole growing process. And the plant roots love oxygen too. They actually do way better. And the plants are actually way more efficient in this system because they don't need many roots to get all the nutrients they need because the roots are so effective. So they put a lot more energy into growing leaves and things that we want out of the hill. Okay. So once you got this great nitrate-rich water in the process, yeah, you can certainly grow your bigger plants in your media beds directly, but you can go further than that and use that nutrient-rich water to grow plants in many different ways. One very efficient way is shown on the upper left, and that basically is nothing more than a trough system where you grow smaller plants like lettuce in a pipe or in a gutter, and you just let the water drain through the gutter, if you will, and route back and forth. And that's all the lettuce needs. You know, they grow crazy, and you get a very efficient way of growing a lot in a very small area, great for greenhouses. The other pictures all are regarding what's called a raft system. And the upper right-hand photo is basically a greenhouse that is a very large, very shallow pond of nutrient-rich water. And what you see are basically foam insulation boards floating on top of the water. And from a harvesting standpoint, it's extremely easy. You can literally just drag those boards over next to you and pull all the plants off and put new plants on and put the board somewhere else. The lady on the center is starting to load new plants onto very small boards, or shall we say, tightly packed boards with seedlings. So you get, 20, 30 seedlings getting everything they need in a very small area. And then if you notice on that lower left-hand picture, there are, different stages of growth of the plants. So they're starting to get bigger. You go to the photo on the bottom right, and they've been moved to a panel with even a little more space, and then you have full-grown plants that just literally fill up the whole of the panel. And you see the roots, of course, just hanging down there. They just dangle in the water and pull all those great nutrients into the plant. So this is an example of why you get 10 times the efficiency. Crop managers can group plants together based on their stage of growth and their type, and they can move these around however they want. There might be better light for one size plant in one part of the greenhouse than others. And the nice thing about it is that most of the time they're just floating this stuff around. It requires very little manpower to manage a fairly large production facility. And most of these facilities right now are hydroponic facilities, just because we have the chemical plants are nearby. It's relatively easy to get the mix you need to keep the plants growing. And businesses are in business to make money, so they don't really necessarily need fish. They just do it with basically a product that they can truck in very easily. That doesn't work so well in a jungle in Honduras. So my project started out with figuring out what I was going to do and then buying a whole bunch of stuff. And yes, Amazon was part of the source. There's a lot more to it than just what's shown here. The heater unit on the bottom right is actually a very important part of the process, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But the ability to control the water temperature is a very important part of aquaponics. Oops, got a little delay here. Okay, the fish tank. I had instructions that the fish tank had to look good, or look good next to our house if it was going to be next to our house. My objective is I didn't want to have to walk very far in the rain to get something. So anyhow, that had to be built in my shop and made it out of plywood. And I insulated it. The silvery looking photo up in the upper center is after I put 2-inch basically foundation insulation into the tank. And then put pond liner over the top of that, put a picture frame on top of it, and ready to go. It holds 120 gallons. And on the right picture, you see 2 white panels. Those are there right now just for insulation, because I heat the water. And it does a very good job of keeping the heat in, so I don't have to use as much electricity to keep the water temperature I want it to be at. Right now it's at 66 degrees, good temperature. In the summertime, I'll punch holes in it and I'll grow lettuce on those, right in the top of the fish tank. We'll see how that works. This is an experiment. Worried that the fish will eat the roots if you allow the fish to be in the same tank. I don't know. I don't care, if they do it, they need food anyhow. So the media beds, I got lucky on Amazon and found this wicker-like planter that has tall legs that gets the media bed higher than the fish tank so the water can drain back into the fish tank. It meant the approval of my partner in life because it matches our furniture on our patio. So I can sit that somewhere and it won't necessarily be a problem. So that's the route I went. It also is just the right height. They like to have 12 inches of media. And then I bought the little pellets shown there, which will be, of course, in the place of the dirt for the reasons I talked about. So that's that. So in the northern part of the lower 48, especially on, you know, in our area, but really all across the north, you can heat the water and that will keep your plants growing until they freeze. So you can't let the leaves freeze is what it boils down to. So my system is designed to be movable. I went with 2 smaller grow beds rather than 1 large grow bed because two people could lift it up, walk it over and put it somewhere else. So I thought, well, we'll put them in a grow tent in the wintertime and then buy a couple high efficiency LED grow lights. And obviously I'm benefiting from the local marijuana industry because this stuff is super inexpensive now. It is amazing, $87 for this grow tent, you know, and I think I got like $55 each for these grow lights. You notice it says 1,000 watt full spectrum plant light. That's a rating system that's based on really old technology. These things are down to 120 watts of power to give you the equivalent of 1,000 watts of old technology grow lights. So we're getting to the point where it doesn't take a lot of power to grow stuff as long as you do it right. And the grow tent with that reflective mylar inner lining catches any stray light and reflects it back around. So when you get inside this grow tent, it's like summertime. So it's actually pretty cool or pretty hot. So the big question is why no greenhouse? I mean, the greenhouse seems like a no-brainer. Well, these photos are from my last house on Camino Island, and I decided to experiment with hydroponics there. And so I put a little greenhouse in the middle of the garden, and I got really, really clever, and I thought, well, let's make this totally solar powered. So I mounted a couple solar panels on the door going into the garden house, and those panels charged the battery whenever they could. And then the battery ran an inverter that ran the pump that made the hydroponic system work. And that was all fine and dandy. It grew well in the summertime. And you know, we got lettuce that's charred up in the upper one there that was basically ready to go. And new things starting down below all over the place. And it worked great until about November. And around here, we got a little problem with sun in the wintertime. It's really what it comes down to. And stuff just didn't grow well in the wintertime. And when it gets really nice out or really clear out, it gets so cold at night that you're gonna kill all your plants if it's clear out. So I ended up having to heat the greenhouse in the wintertime to keep things alive that weren't really growing very well anyhow. And that dang heat used more energy than anything else that you could possibly do to grow plants. So bottom line is, I thought, well, maybe I won't do the greenhouse this time. Doesn't mean I won't still do it, but that's why I didn't do that. So finished system, painted the tank to look like the house, located the grow tent in the least used part of the patio in the wintertime that's undercover, so you don't have to walk out in the rain to get the fresh trimmings for the salad and that type of thing. And you'll see a large hose on the ground from the tank to the grow tent. All the plumbing was done with flexible tubing. so that in the springtime, we can take the grow beds out of, oh, look at that, the picture on the left got turned sideways. Wow. So anyhow, we can take the grow beds out and put them on the patio to the left of the tank is basically the concept. And take advantage of growing things naturally in the sun. And I'm guessing that we'll only need this 4 months out of the year. And then the grow tent will go away, folds up nicely, and we'll have the whole patio to use when it's nice out. Another really important thing is proximity of the fish tank to the barbecue. There's a fish bar right around the corner, good spot to clean fish. So people will be able to literally point at their fish that they want in the fish tank. We'll catch that guy and we'll go fillet them and throw them on the Barbie, and that'll be kind of a cool feature. And by the way, okay, what you see turned sideways there is the grow beds in the grow tent. Yeah, plants are started in the grow beds. I started it when the seedlings inside, moved them into the grow beds when they were about the size they are now, and we'll let them grow. But I can't put fish in until the system is fully cycled. And that means until the bacteria is built up to the proper level of population, if you will, in the media. And you can tell that just by doing water tests. You can test for the presence of nitrates and nitrites and just watch that. And when you get a high level of nitrates, then you're basically ready to go. And then you put fish in and everybody's happy. But if the bacteria isn't there and doing their things yet, then you won't be filtering the water, and that won't be good for fish. Where do you get your fish? Funny you should ask. Yeah, you can buy them online. The industry is a new industry, but there's places that you literally buy them online and they'll ship them to you, or you can drive to a hatchery and pick up fish. For instance, if you're going to do rainbow trout, you can actually get them as fingerlings at hatcheries. That's what they do around there. The choice of fish is real important because of temperature tolerance and then what you're going to do. If you want to eat the fish, there's certain fish you would get. And if you just want to look at fish, obviously koi and plecos, might be more what you want to have. So I'm going to do what's called here the brim, which is really a bluegill, which is a native North American freshwater fish. They taste really well. They don't grow very large, but they grow big enough that you can make a meal out of them. And they're non-aggressive, but more importantly, they're omnivores, which means the fish food is very inexpensive because they don't need a lot of protein in their diet. Bass would be another good choice, but they're fairly aggressive, and they're more of a protein eater, so you need to have a high protein diet for bass. Catfish are good, but I don't think about eating catfish all that much. So
Pretty good though.
yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my spare time.
Those that have been to my house know that I have a large pond in my yard. And it's loaded with goldfish. And so if anybody would like some goldfish, you can come get them there for free. They're all sizes, but I've got too many for the pond.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. We could all start our own system, and then you can provide the fish.
So if you want some goldfish, I've got them.
Okay.
All you have to do is catch them.
Are they amenable? How big is the pond? Or do you have to wade into the pond and chase them around with that?
So Don, do you have to use some electricity to circulate the water from the fish to the?
Yes. They're about 20 watts of power. It needs to run the pump. In my case, I only run the pump 15 minutes an hour. On a timer, and the water drains back through the pump to drain the media bed.
So it charges it and then it just stops and it drains back. Trying to make it super easy.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Thank you so much for putting that together.
My pleasure.
That was fascinating. You do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably do more presentations on other cool projects.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I love,
Yes.
we were just talking at this meeting last night about programs, and I was saying my favorite programs are classification talks, because you learn about our members, and this really kind of is a classification talk, because now we know what Don knows. So
Yeah,
awesome.
probably.
And thank you very much for your presentation today, Mr. Iverson. We'll be
Do I
making-
get $25
we'll be
dollar
making a
part? All
donation
right.
to the Education Foundation in your name.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, there's Zoom. Hey, Amy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming. Okay, I think that's it. We're out of time. Thank you, Don. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye, Zoomers.
Very interesting, John. Yeah. I have a lot of plans going.